You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Monday with Monique.
Thanks for staying with us here on TSPN and Mondays with Monique. Velma and Monique are going to cook up creme brulee French toast. It's a big family recipe. We've been making it for years and years. Used to make it the Fox's Inn, and it's now proudly made at Monique's place in Pine Grove. It's a simple recipe, like I said. So Velma, if you don't mind, if you'd crack the 5 eggs and pour in the 1.5 cups of cream and whisk it together.
Sure.
Start with that, and then what I did is I found these great little mini French loaves over at Cost You Less in Jackson. You can use a regular French loaf, or you can use this. But what's nice about these is we're going to cut off the top and the bottom of the crust, and that way when we put it into this cream and egg mixture, it's able to absorb the mixture into the bread. If you leave the crust on, it doesn't absorb up in there right, and so you want to take the crust off. If you use a large French loaf, you take the crust off the entire thing. Most of the time, the large French loaves, they don't fit right in the pan, and so you'll need to take all the crust off. This is a lot less work. And they're very affordable, and they taste wonderful. So, super sharp knife. You want to use a bread knife, serrated knife, to cut off the crust. Kind of like that. That's what I'm doing here. 4 of these smaller French loaves fit in a pan. We're going to do a baking pan. It looks like it's maybe 8 or 9 by 11. That's about the right size for one batch. How's it going there, Velma?
Good. I'm just thinking about your cute little coffee shop.
Ah.
How come you decided to name it after yourself, Monique's place?
You know, I didn't. Pete really wanted to name it after me, and I thought that was so sweet and very endearing. You know, I was thinking of, like Mojo's or something, kind of different like that. But he really thought that we should call it Monique's place. And I have a flair of European cooking. I really enjoy European cooking, French cooking, Italian.
Monique has that French flair to it.
It does,
too.
and that is kind of, really my style of cooking too. So I said, okay, well, if you want to do that, let's do that. So it's named Monique's Place.
Yay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And then I thought if I named it something coffee-ish, then it doesn't really lend itself as much to other forms of dining,
And if you're real tired in the morning, you know where you're going.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. If I get lost and made a Monique's Place. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. And then eventually I'd like to expand and do some different types of cooking, maybe tapas in the evening later down the road.
Oh, wonderful.
Maybe a Sunday night dinner, something of that nature.
You can actually, yeah.
So I didn't want to name the restaurant something that depicts it to a certain type of food only or a certain time of day. People are expected to be open.
True.
Yeah, then it's,
Good
it's
job.
open. Then you can do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
That's right. Get yourself some big old neon Monique sign and
Yeah.
the big old arrow.
It's like Pete's Place, Mackenzie's Stonehouse Bistro, and he likes to be called a bistro because he says you can cook anything you want. Nothing
Right.
is typical or atypical. Everything belongs in a bistro, from sandwiches to lobster, And he does that. He does a little bit of everything there.
Is there anything else you would like me to put in this? What
I
is this?
would. Let's see here. So we need to add in a little bit of vanilla.
What's a little?
A little bit is going to be a teaspoon.
Nice.
And then 4 teaspoons of the Grand Marnier, which is an orange brandy.
Oh.
Need some help with that, big girl?
I didn't take my muscle pills this
and
morning.
spray the pan. Just cooking spray at the bottom of your baking pan and around the edges. Velma, you need some hairspray?
As a matter of fact, I do.
And what you do is you want to make sure that your bread fits in the pan so that you have bread all the way across.
You
Now,
said
I've
4 of
already
these, right?
I've done this before. I know it fits. If you're using large size French loaf, then you would cut each little piece and put it in there and fit it together so there's little to no gaps. And the reason being is because you want all of the cream and egg mixture to be absorbed up into it, and you don't want it just standing in between the loaves. So we know these 4 fit in there well.
Yum. Did you smell this stuff?
Oh yeah, Grand Marnier orange liqueur. Delicious. And you can taste a slight hint of it in there, and it does
Just
give it
need
that
to
unique flavor. Kind
put
of
your
adds
eggs
to
over
the
the
creme
rock.
brulee. Yeah, eggs over rocks. There you go. The next thing we're going to do now that we're done with the bread here is we're going to work on the sauce. So we'll just turn that on. You want a pretty hot pan because we're going to melt butter. We're going to use brown sugar, and we're also going to use a little bit of corn syrup. We use the light colored corn syrup. It has a prettier color. So what we want is a half a cup of butter, a cup of brown sugar packed, and 2
Yum.
tablespoons of corn syrup.
Yummy.
Easy. Not really very many ingredients for a dish that's really flavorful like this.
No calories.
Right, no calories on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So don't eat it Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or Saturday.
Well, wait. Saturday could be the dawning of the
Yeah, the eve of it, huh?
well, Sunday's the next day.
There we go. So, have our corn syrup, 1 cup of brown sugar, and you want it packed in the cup because that will really affect the amount of sugar. If it's loose in there, you're not going to get enough sugar. So pack it down in the cup when you're measuring.
Yum.
And this is basically equivalent to 1 stick of butter.
Yum.
In it goes.
That's right. Is that salted or unsalted? Does it matter?
Let me get this down here. And for this recipe, it really doesn't matter. There we go. That works better. Now it's hot. Now we're cooking with gas. So right now you see it just barely molten. We're gonna go ahead and warm this until it turns into syrup. It looks a lot like maple syrup when it's done and ready to be poured in.
Nice.
Now, when it's all melted and the sugar granules are not crystallized anymore and they're all melted in,
Nice and smooth.
you have a short amount of time to work with it because it will harden, kind of like, almost like candy when it gets cold. So we want to go ahead and we're just going to kind of mix it around. Once we have it all melted, we're going to pour it directly into this pan, put the bread on top.
Oh, nice.
Okay? There we go.
Pretty. Smells just
Would you like
amazing.
to stir for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Nice.
That
It
is just
smells
looking
heavenly.
Good. Yeah, and it looks fine. It's doing really well.
You don't put any Grand Marnier in here at all?
No, just into the cream and egg mixture.
Are you sure? No, I'm just
You want to add a little more for good luck?
eggs over rocks.
So what we're going to do is as soon as that's melted, we pour it into our baking pan, which has already been sprayed with, spray, cooking oil, pan, what have you. You can butter it too if you like butter.
Boy, this does work up fast.
Yeah, it does. It melts fast. It also hardens fast. So you are doing an excellent job stirring, by the way.
I won first place in stirring.
That looks great. Okay, good. The rest of that butter is going to melt.
Yes.
We want it nice and hot.
There you go.
So in it goes into the pan, right here. We'll just kind of even it out a bit. Okay, are you ready with the cream, Velma?
Yes.
And here's our bread. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just drizzle the cream on top. We're going to go ahead and do this, and we'll put it in the oven. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back, so stay tuned.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Welcome back to Mondays with Monique. So we're working on our creme brulee French toast, and of course it looked like this when we just left for a commercial break, and this is the raw version of it. Velma, do you mind pulling out our other pan of the baked version? There's not that many ingredients in it. It's a really, really simple recipe. We baked this one in a 9x13 pan at 400 for about, I'm going to say 40 minutes. It helps if you take it out of the fridge and let it get down to room temperature. This is one of the types of dishes that works best when you make it the night before. Let it sit overnight. The bread absorbs all of the liquids. and then you put it in the oven the next morning for about 45 minutes. Ooh. So this is what our beautiful creme brulee French toast looks like after it's been baked, and we'll go ahead and give some a try here.
Yum.
What's kind of neat about this dish is that it's inverted onto the plate. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Basically, we flip it upside down. This is the side that is served up.
How clever.
And it has this wonderful syrup that we've made, so it really doesn't need additional syrup. Sprinkle it with a little bit of powdered sugar, and
the
voila,
aromas,
there
heavenly.
it is.
Oh.
Delicious. So Velma, I'll hand that to you. Fork and knife, and give it a try, and I'll give some a try too.
It is Monday.
It is. It's legal today. It's a legal thing today on Monday. How are we doing there?
Very excellent.
Very excellent. That's a good thing. I like the very excellent. So it's nice and soft. You know, when I push on the bread, it's tender. Take a bite here. Ooh, gotta have my sugar on it.
I'm going in
There
for
we go.
seconds.
So again, this is served at Monique's Place, one of our famous recipes. Oh my gosh. Now that's good. A couple of the other things I worked on yesterday are these fabulous cookies. These cookies are pink lemonade cookies. I have fat-free cranberry orange muffins that are right here.
Yum.
Ooey gooey, and I'm talking ooey gooey, yummy chocolate brownies. And then we also have scones with almonds and golden raisins. The scones were made by Ingrid Fraser, so we buy a couple of her products too. And they're
Nice.
baked fresh every day. We do soups, salads, sandwiches, just a variety of different breakfast foods such as breakfast burritos, breakfast sandwiches, scrambles, bakes, different things like that.
You have a soup of the day.
Today the soup is stracciatella. It's a chicken stracciatella. We have a tuna on wheat. We have a pasta dish. We have just quite a few things. We also do a Caesar with shrimp. That's our specials today. I want to thank everybody for watching and invite you to come into Monique's Place in Pine Grove. Velma, I want to thank you, my dear darling friend, for co-hosting with me today. I really,
Anytime.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And you
I
did
had
a
fun.
fabulous job. And we're going to eat the rest of this and hope to see you soon. Have a great day.